And up next, a vitally important update on an interesting reality in Michigan. What are the stories and how might they relate to the Michigan Dogman? That's up next, right here on JTC.
Are the stories and the legends very possibly real regarding the interesting escapades that have occurred in Michigan? We know there was a car accident that occurred kind of off of Main Street in Michigan, and it's very interesting. I pondered this for a while, ever since you guys have brought it up, and I'm starting to believe there's a lot more to this than we've been told. It states the Michigan Dogman, unraveling the legend of the bipedal beast, the birth of a legend. Our story begins in 1887, rugged terrain of Wilkesburg County, Michigan. Two older lumberjacks, their axes slung over their shoulders, were making their way through the woods when they stumbled upon something that would change their lives forever. There, in a clearing, stood a creature unlike anything they had ever seen, 7 feet tall, with the body of a man with the head of a dog. Its eyes, they stated, glowed otherworldly light, and howled, and sounds and shivers down everyone's spine. This first reported sighting of the dog made for a legend that would grow and evolve over the decades. But the lumberjack's tale wasn't born in a vacuum. The woods of Michigan had long been home to stories of strange phenomena, shapeshifters, and oddity. These ancient legends spoke of beings that could transform from human to animal, blurring the lines between our world and the spirit world itself. As European settlers pushed into the Michigan wilderness, they brought their own folklore with them. Tale enemy of the creature, the Michigan Dogman. According to eyewitness accounts, this isn't your average cryptid sighting. For all appearance of a bodybuilder in a convincing dog costume, but it's the creature's head that really sets it apart. Described as canine, with a long snout, pointed ears, and teeth that would make witnesses have repeatedly reported glowing blue amber eyes with red and a sense of intelligence that follows you. It's these eyes that often leave the strongest impression on those who claim to have seen the beast, as it captures imagination worldwide. It is how it moves. Unlike your typical quadrupedal canine, the dogman is said to be comfortable walking on 2 legs, giving it an eerie, almost large, long distances and move through the woods in supernatural wolves were often frightening, to say the least. The dogman's official vocalizations are said to be described as a cross between a wolf's howl and a human scream. It's a sound that freezes the blood of those unfortunate. Others believe it's a call to others who come. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Michigan Dogman is the supposed cycle of its appearance. According to lore, the creature is most active in years ending in 7 to 1987, 1997, 2007, and onward. This pattern has become so ingrained in the mythology that it is almost treated as gospel among dogman enthusiasts, aficionados. But why for a 7-year cycle? Some speculate it is tied to ancient lunar calendars or natural biological rhythms of the sun. Others suggest it is simply a quirk of human pattern-seeking behaviors, where our brain tries to make sense of random events and imposes its own structure. Whatever the case, this cycle has created a sense of anticipation and dread among believers, with each approaching Dogman year with a fresh new wave of excitement and intimidation. The most recent Dogman year in 2017 saw a spike in reported sightings, with renewed interest for the legend. As we approach 2027, the next year in the cycle, there is a buzz that builds in the background regarding the cryptids. Will this be the year someone officially captures undeniable proof of the Dogman's existence? Or will it be another round of tantalizing glimpses and misses? The cyclical nature of the legend adds an extra layer of mystique to the Michigan Dogman legend. It's not just a creature that might be lurking in the woods. It is a phenomenon now with its own rhythm, a beast that seems to dance to the beat of some cosmic drum we can't hear. The legend tells the story of the Dogman throughout the decades, recounting various sightings and encounters set to a folksy campfire style melody. It is the kind of song that a officially coherent narrative popular that Cook began selling that just popularized on ever since Paris in the 1800s. It's dated details, but for how it bridges the gap between early Dogman legends people were encountering in the Michigan woods, it wasn't ever a recent phenomenon. That there is definitely going on with Michigan. Your thoughts and feelings on it might be, uh, and what you have to say is always very insightful and important. I feel that it's just deeper what might have ever since its first sighting in the Gable film. It says by incorporating this piece of the Dogman official lore for the narrative, the film became a cult classic because among cryptid enthusiasts and Michigan locals alike who grew up with the Dogman stories, they found interesting. I'm going to explore this more, and in this video, I'm going to give an analysis on what I feel regarding these Dogman legends. Which ones may be real, which ones are definitely fabricated or manufactured. But exploring this more in depth, especially with you guys, has been one of my great desires here. So we're going to be looking at that more. And also, the legend has served as a reminder that in our Western culture, there's still room for mystery, wonder, and just a bit of fear. And truer words. It was walking bipedal on its 2 feet. Dogman, real. Pictures of these exact people. Opening eyes, long claws, or long claw, fast as a car and as tall as feet at the time. Described. Sightings of this creature have been reported in 1887 when some in Wexford County saw something they could never, ever fathom. A man on the head of a dog with glowing. Rachel Clark, the education specialist for the archives of Michigan University. It is extremely agile. They stated it jumped in front of the car and it scratches at the house and also tents outside. This map compiles sightings reported by other outlets. Michigan Dogman official sightings. Even though the Dogman hasn't been officially identified in the state's Department of Natural Resources, the phenomenon has driven many to talk about the mysterious creature and share their experience, including one hosted by Vic Condiff on the official Dogman Encounters radio. In 2007, Condiff stated he was hosting a Bigfoot podcast when guests from another outlet mentioned an encounter with the Michigan Dogman. He became interested that night to learn more and started hunting for stories related to this to have had intense experience with the Michigan Dogman. Many of them have experience. The main thing I do is just try to help traumatized dog witnesses. I don't continue to prove the existence of this phenomenon. Of course, Vic does not recommend trying to find them. A lot of the time, and happen to encounter a dogman, sure to share your experience. Learn about the existing evidence for and against the Michigan dog. Very fascinating. This has been going on for some time, and people have been seeing the dog phenomenon interesting various areas for well over 100 years. So very, very interesting what they've been talking about here. Thank you. So this is pretty cool. What is Michigan's official dog man? Picture this. You're driving through the woods. Tall trees line the road. The only light comes from the moon and stars. Just when you think you are alone, a creature that looks half man, half wolf jumps directly in front of your car. So they've been having these sightings for many decades. And the stories they've been talking about are just eye-opening, very interesting. Michigan Dogman has haunted residents for decades, so this is nothing new. And some report the creature is upwards of 7 feet tall. Its eyes glow like almost glowing embers, they claim. So this is lightning. I'm going to listen to this for a moment here. Could be real. Definitely has very interesting features. This kind of reminds me of what they've been saying for a long time in regards to the Navajo tribes and some of the Native American leaders claiming they saw these deities that kind of were covered in materials, covered in fur, covered in ancient type of clothing and things. So it's very eye-opening, no matter what, is to learn about what they're really doing and what they're taught there. It also could be a normal how sometimes gets mistaken for other things as well. But it's a very, very interesting world that's been occurring out there. Very open.
Camera shutter for a long exposure. He could have taken pretty badly by then. Falls and slowly moved off into the woods. He's in a prick. Sent copies to several magazines. One that I think was called Mysterion published the photo in their spring issue of 1962. Dad had a copy of the magazine for years, but it was misplaced after he passed away. Well, I still have a negative strip if you like to examine it. I also still have Dad's Kodak signet. I haven't shot any pictures with it for several years. But I'm pretty sure it still works. Sparta, 1987. 1 week, back around fall 1987. My two best friends and I were staying at my family's cabin. She's not far from the small town of Sparta, about 20 minutes north of Grand Rapids. My two friends left to have dinner while I stayed. At dinner, the man headed back towards Sparta in the cabin. What happened next shocked and disturbed them for years. It was dark. They were on a rural road. Suddenly both of them saw something standing by the side of the road. In the headlights of the car, it appeared to be a human-like figure covered in gray fur.
Certainly very possible. Script that they were kind of disconnected to this practice. That the manuscript or the book was used to call back souls of those who were no longer with us. And what's fascinating is it kind of elucidates the fact that they had rituals, perhaps related to these same creatures. So one more for the road here. Some claim the Dogman leaves a distinctive claw mark on the objects it touches. And like many mysterious creatures, it also has a terrible odor. Describe its foul, like rotting mothballs. It is said the creature leaves signs similar to those of other cryptids. As reported in an article on Listverse, multiple sightings mention large footprints left within the snow or dirt. Dogman sightings date back nearly to the 19th backcountry road. Well, I will say this. The Michigan Dogman stories are very enlightening, if nothing else. And I certainly appreciate learning much more. So sound off, of course, in the comments down below. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? As always, I sense there's more to the picture that's left to be told. There was DJ, a name, who wrote a song after they had a sighting in Traverse City, Michigan. Called it The Legend. Very, very interesting. And I have no doubt there is 100 years after the first sighting. The Traverse City, Michigan radio disc jockey wrote a song called The Legend. The song was laid on the air. That same radio received thousands and thousands of calls. Very fascinating. I feel that the legend, as it were, of the Michigan Dogman is very, very plausible, And it's always good to learn, what's really going on out there, to learn more. So, share your experience like for you, and look forward to more of our follow-up on these key issues in the future here. Sound off, and as always, like, subscribe, and enjoy, as there's much more, and explore. Those Native Americans might not have been that far off the mark. Yeah, so what a world.